hopefully most of the people that are here are club members, and if you're not, that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a presentation, and I'll try to keep it brief. We're going to focus mostly on the club, but we'll talk a little bit about the general overall idea. But of course, the focus is what we're going to do with the club. And I think, like, after my presentation, take maybe a 10-minute recess. If somebody wants to get some food or a drink and formulate their questions, put it on a card, turn it in, and then we'll do the question and answer sessions, and hopefully we can answer as many questions as possible. So I'll go ahead and get started. If somebody wasn't here in the last meeting, I'll just tell you very briefly about us. We're a builder. We've been in business for over 26 years, and we have built here in Fremont in the 80s, 90s, and we're building now. Of course, we've built in other cities. Most of the projects that we do are infill projects, which means that it's a property that has existing uses around it. So, you know, being sensitive to what is already there, and trying to find compatibility with the existing neighborhood is very important. Close the door?
Yeah, I was going to do it. Close it.
So, having said that, what we started off with is that when we looked at this property in general, we understood right from the beginning how important it is to everybody that already lived there. We understood how everybody really loves this property. We really also understood how important it is for the community, and we really spent a lot of time trying to think ahead of actually even contracting to buy the property as to what we could do with this property that would actually be a good fit for this community. And right off the bat, the first thing we looked at was to create like a community part that would benefit the existing area. And we didn't want to do something like, well, you know, we'll put like a 10,000 square foot piece and, you know, put like a little park in it or a barbecue area in it. We wanted to do something that is bold, something that actually really would mean something to the existing community that is there. And what we came up with, of course, is 1/3 of this property, which is about 4 acres, a little over 4 acres, is being given to benefit the community. So, I mean, the property is a little over 12 acres. 4 acres of that piece of property will be to benefit the community. And we didn't just like look at that piece and say, we're just going to give it and do nothing with it. We thought of activities that would actually be useful to the people that live there. So the first thing that we did is we created a trail, and that's kind of the concept right here. The green zone here that you see is the 4 acres, and the reason it's on the perimeter and mostly here and there is because we wanted to create a trail so somebody can actually use it for something. So one of the things we're doing is that we're doing this these mileage markers and these exercise points along this trail, and the trail is about a mile long. So if you were to start, let me see where we're at, right here, and you would go through this here, there would be exercise stations along the way and markers, and these would be the exercise stations and the markers, and it comes all the way through to here, and then you, at this point here, you're at 1/2 mile. So going twice is a mile. In addition to the exercise stations and the markers, in that 4 acre piece, we have other activities such as playground areas, 2 playground areas, which are depicted right here, that are for children of different ages, some like from 3 to 7, 7 to 12. And then in addition to that, we have a dog park or a dog run that is right here. And this is kind of an idea for everybody that lives there to be able to use. And in addition to that, we're proposing to put some bocce courts, which are right here. Okay? And all of that will be maintained by the association with the home, so that the community members don't have to pay for any of that, and they get a benefit of 1/3 of this piece of property, 4 acres, to be used by them. The second part of this, of course, was the club. The club is about another 3-some acres, so that puts us a little bit more than half of the property. And we looked at the club, and the club has like a couple of issues with it, and that's why we're having a meeting here tonight. The tennis courts that the city of Fremont has down here actually take away from the business aspect of how this club is run, and it's actually a problem because people can go use these tennis courts for like a fraction of the cost of what is at the club. So the first thing that we needed to do is to, I can finish please, and then if you have a question at the end, you can, or if you want to state something, you can do that at the end. But even if the cost was not an issue, it's an issue of competition where people can use that instead of the club. So in order for us for the club to work from a business point, from a financial point, it has to change a little bit. So it was not that we would actually take away all of the tennis courts. That's not something that we want to do, but we would take half of the court, a little bit more than half the courts, add, of course, a better swimming element, and make the club more of a health club and a spa, where there's a sanctuary for other activities, and make it more in tune of what a club would be like today. So that's what we're proposing to do with the club. And then the remainder of the property, which would be a little bit less than half of the property, would be for residential use. And the residential part was not based on trying to get the most houses or really large houses or anything in between that. What we looked at is we looked at the existing neighborhood that is immediately, to this area and to this area, and the lot sizes in that area are roughly about 7,000 to 9,000 square feet. So we actually went and had our lots be around 8,000 to 11,000 feet, and the size of the homes would be about the same. So we're not proposing to put lots that are 0 lot lines, and we're not proposing on putting like 3/4 acre or 1 acre lots that are not compatible with what is already there. So the size of the lots that we have is a little bit larger. In addition, just to talk a little bit about the housing element in this section here, there are no point of access from anywhere along East Las Palmas or Almira. It's only through Canyon Heights, which will not affect anybody that lives there, because there's absolutely no access through here or here for the residential component. The only access to the club would be through here, and it was just realigned a little bit just to save more trees, because the existing road going into the club is not wide enough, and if the club has to be upgraded, it has to meet the fire department requirement, which means it'll have to be wider, and then you'll have to cut more trees. So we aligned the roads for traffic purposes with the existing street here and the existing street here, and we meandered it to save as many trees as possible. And so this is the club element. And going back to the housing part, the access is through the back, and it's a U-shape, so it does meet the fire department requirement, and the lots are on this side and here. And if you look at a section, we have 2 sections. One, this section here is looking this way, and then this section here is looking this way. And this is a car, so this is like right here. And then of course you have the curb and gutter. We're proposing on putting a sidewalk. And then these are some of the existing trees. This would be the fence to where the new homes would be. This would be a backyard, and this would be a future residence. So it's from the edge of the street, it's about like 50-some feet. To the other side of the street, where another house is almost 75 feet. And on the other side, it's even further, because the buffer is even bigger. So this would be a car. This is the greenbelt area that is a benefit that would be used by the community members. And right here, this is a fence, this is a backyard, some screening, and that would be a home. Of course, the reason we chose to put the residential aspect back here is because it has the least amount of trees, so there would be a minimal amount of trees that would have to be removed with this plan. And then going back to the club, as I said, what we're trying to develop with the club is this. So we have an access point, an entry point through here, and an exit through here, and that's aligned with these two existing streets. This here would be designated for employee parking. This would be designated for guest parking. We do have like a half a horseshoe with a fountain, so it really has a very, very formal entrance. The building would be expanded just a little bit. Right now it's about, I think, 5,800 square feet. We propose to maybe make it about 7,000 with a second story, so we can put the uses in it that would be needed to make the club work and to actually you know, become a benefit for the people using the club. Of course, we have the tennis courts right here. We have some mini courts that we're adding. We have a new pool, and we have a new spa, an outside fireplace sitting area, and a cafe. So, in looking here, this is a large plan of the club. This would be the clubhouse building right here. This would be a cafe. There would be indoor seating and some outdoor seating. There would be cabanas right here, and then this is the pool. The pool is shallow here, and it's basically a full-size lap pool. The spa is right here. This is an outside fireplace area, and then these are the courts. Now these courts have one set of bleachers right here, and some sitting area right here for people to watch, and these will have them right here. There's also, just to mention, there's a fountain element as you come through right here from Las Palmas Avenue that would be right here, that would basically identify the club right there. These are some example pictures of what we're supposed to have done there. This would be something that we're looking into for the entry fountain. This would be something that we're looking into for the cafe, outside fireplace, cabanas, and then some of the planting material, and some of the features of the landscape materials such as benches, spots, and sitting areas. Now, in looking at the club itself, we're working on our plan for the club right now with the uses in the club that we're looking at are as follows. Of course, we envision, of course, a reception area with a formal entry. We envision a pro shop, an area for exercise for equipment, an area for exercise for cardio, such as, of course, exercise bikes, Precor machines, treadmills, etc. Also an area for stretching. There's the cafe with an area for food prep that would have indoor and outdoor seating. Of course, we'll have a men and a women's locker room. We do propose on putting in what's called the sanctuary, which will have, a place to get manicures done, massages, and other things like that. And also, we will have a place for Pilates and another place like a stretch room. Okay? So that's in general what we envision in terms of the uses for the club. Okay? And I think that's about it for my presentation. If you would like to get a card and fill out a question, take about a 10-minute break, and the last, and then we can try to answer some of your questions.